So hi guys, let's look at computer form 1, that is end term 3 year 2022. So the first question was state the technology that used in each of these computer generation. We have 4 marks. So we have first generation, second, third and fourth. So the first generation used a technology called vacuum tubes stroke the Munich valves. Second generation used transistors. Third generation used integrated circuits. And fourth generation, they used very large scale integrated circuits. For the fifth, in case you may need to know, they use semiconductors or artificial intelligence. Then question number 2, we have explain the following terms as used in computer science. We have our 3 marks. We have data, programming, and data processing. When you talk about data, data is a collection of raw facts, figures, or instructions that do not have much meaning to the user. Whereas we have a program is a set of related instructions which specify how data is to be processed. Some guys may call them applications or software. On the other hand, when you process data, you get its casing information, you get information. And that process of now converting data to information is called data processing. And for that case, data processing is the process of collecting all terms of data together and converting them into information. So information is processed data, and data refers to raw facts. Then guys, we have the next part, question number 3. Explain the reason why a computer is referred to as a programmable device, an electronic device, and a processing device. A computer is referred as a programmable device because it uses a set of instructions to perform different tasks. On the other hand, a computer is referred as an electronic device because it uses electricity to operate. On the other hand, you can also add that it is made up of electronic devices. A computer is a processing device. Why? Because it transforms data to information, or rather, it transforms raw data to meaningful information. Question number 4. List 3 examples of soft copy output devices. To start with, we are supposed to know what is a soft copy output device. This is a device that produces intangible or untouchable output. Examples are monitor, projector, speakers or audio devices. You also have light emitting diodes. On the other hand, in question number 5, give 3 examples of flat panel monitors available in the market today. We have our 3 marks. So we have the LCD or liquid crystal display. We have EL or electroluminescent. We also have gas plasma. We also have thin film transistor. You can also add gas plasma. It's here. Gas plasma. Those are the examples of flat panel systems or monitors we have in the market. Differentiate between impact and non-impact printers. We have our 6 marks. When you talk about impact printers, these are printers that use striking mechanism. Non-impact printers use thermal, ink, and laser mechanisms. Impact printers are noisy, whereas non-impact printers are quiet. Impact printers produce poor quality printout, whereas non-impact printers produce high quality printouts. On the other hand, impact printers are slow, that's true. Non-impact printers are fast. To purchase an impact printer is affordable, so cheap, whereas non-impact printers you must prepare for it because it is expensive. Then impact printers hardly break down, whereas non-impact printers, despite being our new technology, they break down easily. Question number 7. Highlight 4 factors one should consider when purchasing a printer. In our book 1, we have 4 or around 5 points. But in my marking scheme, we have more than 10. So you can add some of these answers to your notes. We have cost involved, that is buying price or initial cost. We have cost of maintenance or running cost. This is our cost of consumables like printing papers, ribbons, cartridges, and toners. Volume of printing expected or speed of the printer. It is measured paper per minute. We have quality of printing, e.g. ability to print graphics and color. Capability of the selected printer, e.g. multiple copy production, paper size, etc. Compatibility with other computers. Compatibility means the ability to work with others. Application it is required for, that is the purpose or use of the printer. If you want to purchase, for example, a photo printer, that is the purpose. The purpose is to print photos, so it must be colored. Type of paper used. You cannot use that printer you see in your computer in your school to print newspapers because you do not accommodate those big size papers. Documentation. Documentation means the manual. The manual, you know the manual, the book with instructions on how to use something. Then you have availability. You may wish to purchase a printer, but it is not available in your market. So availability becomes a factor. Question number 8. Write the following abbreviations in full. We have KB, stands for kilobytes. This is a unit of measure. We have VDU, this stands for visual display unit. We have ROM, this stands for read-only memory. We have CDR or compact disc recordable. DVD stands for digital versatile disc or digital video disc. Give 2 reasons why there are many forms of computer storage devices. Why do you think we have various forms of storage devices? Number 1 is permanency of storage, cost of implication, and capacity of storage systems. Those are the 3 main points where we have many forms of computer storage. Then you have question number 10. Explain the special purpose memories found in computer. We usually have the cache memory or cache, we have registers, and we have buffer. So cache memory, it holds data, instructions, and programs that are subjected to repeated access. They fasten operations in a computer. Registers, they are found inside the CPU and they hold one piece of data at a time during processing. Then you have buffer. Buffer memory are found in, this is the memory found in the input-output devices. Sometimes you may wonder, when the printer experiences paper jam, when you remove the clogged paper, the printer continues to print where it had left. Why? Because it has its own memory, that is the buffer. Distinguish between read-only memory or ROM and random access memory or RAM. So these are the differences. Data and instructions stored in the read-only memory are those required to remain unchanged for a long period of time or forever. Whereas random access memory, its content can be read directly regardless of the sequence in which it is stored. Also, it's good to note that when power goes off, the content of random access memory goes together with the power. That is called volatility. So we say it is temporary or volatile. Whereas the contents of read-only memory, as said earlier, are permanent. They don't depend on power. Whether power is there or not, they remain there. Question number 12. In reference to arithmetic and logic unit, explain the meaning of logic operations and give an example of this processing operation. So guys, logic operation is the ability to compare two quantities or numbers to determine which is greater than, less than, equal to blah 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 blah. So if I give you x and y, then I tell you y is 9, x is 10. Then I want you to evaluate which is greater. For that case, you are doing a logic operation. Then question number 13. List down 3 measures that can be put to keep off unauthorized persons in computer lab or in computer room. So number 1, you can put grills or metal on doors, windows, and ceiling. You can install an alarm detection system. You can also employ security guards. You can also add this cross computer room when nobody is using them. Then question number 14. List down 4 functions of an interruptible power supply unit, or UPS. You have your 4 marks. UPS, it prevents sudden surges that might destroy the computer. You will notice that when power is flowing, there are over voltage and under voltage. This one affects the computer. So when you install an UPS, it provides stable, clean power. That is the next explanation for that, this one. So it changes the AC to DC. Remember, your computer gadgets use direct current, but the power supplied is alternate current or AC. So it must be changed from one form to the other. Also, it supplies power to the computer during blackouts and brownouts. When power goes off, the UPS temporarily supply your system with power. Also, it makes some sounds when power goes off. That is to call you. It alerts the user of power loss. That is by beeping. Also, it allows you to save your work. Allows the user to save his or her work and switch off the computer using the correct procedure. Those few minutes between 5 to 15 provided by the UPS, depending on the type, are very crucial. They help you to save and then shut down the computer professionally. Then guys, we have this question. Mention 3 things that are likely to cause strain in computer lab. Number 1 is poor writing. That is poor writing in the computer room. Bright monitors or bright monitors, flickering monitors, and very bright wall painted. That is bright wall that have been painted using the bright colors. You are supposed to use dark colors. So those are some of the points. Distinguish between input devices and output devices. Just as the saying goes, input devices are used to feed instructions or data to the CPU, whereas output are supposed to fetch. They are supposed to give the processed information from the computer. So we say input devices are used to feed data or instructions into the computer, whereas output devices are used to give out the results of processing from the computer to the outside world. Question number 17. Highlight 3 uses of computers in law enforcement. How can you use computers in police stations and court of law, blah, blah, blah? Or why do you think computers are needed there? Number 1, they are used for communication between officials. So you can send an email, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram, you can IG, you can FB. All those ones are communication between officials. You can use a computer to WhatsApp. Also, they store records of offenders, so they keep database or records of criminals. Also, they can be used to detect biometrics like fingerprints. Then guys, we have these funny buttons on our keyboard, very confusing. State the function of the following keyboard keys. We have caps lock, tab key, ESC or escape, and home. So when you talk about a caps lock, when you press caps lock, everything you type later on will be capital letters. So it is used to switch between capital and small letters, or we say uppercase and lowercase. We have tab key. Probably you have not used this. If I highlight this sentence and press tab key, see what happens. You see what's happening? See what's happening. That one is tabbing. So tab key is used to push a paragraph or a sentence few millimeters from the left margin. Then we have escape. Escape is used to cancel the current process or to close a pop-up. Like for example, if I press a button, if for example I press that one, see, that is a pop-up. Then I press escape, it disappears. So it is used to close a pop-up window, like the one I have showed you. Then you have the home key. This one is used to take the cursor home or at the start of the sentence. Like now, see guys, where my cursor is blinking at, I press home key. I want to press home key. See what happens. The cursor goes at the beginning of the line. Question number 19. State two advantages and two disadvantages of using voice recognition as form of data input. So advantages are voice input is fast. It is suitable for people with disabilities, like person who doesn't have hands, can be used for emergency. Assume a situation whereby you are running, you are doing your exercise, or you are driving, or you are riding. Then when you are on your horse, riding your horse or cycling, then you want to reply a message. You realize that a voice note like in WhatsApp will do. You will not have time to type, but you'll have to do it. In case of an emergency, you can do voice input. Disadvantages are voice input is complex to develop. Voice input does not take care speech-related problems such as accent and tone. Remember, we appreciate we all come from different tribes or different communities, whereby we have different areas of pronunciation. That one will not be catered for by this. The response rates of speech input are relatively slow. Most speech input devices can recognize a limited or standard vocabulary of spoken words and the voice of only one person. Cannot differentiate words with the same sounds, homophones. Like when I say read, kifuniko, read, kuongoza, the computer may just write the one it wishes, so it will not have written the correct stuff. Then we have using examples distinguish between primary and secondary storage. When you talk about primary storage, these are devices that are accessed directly by the CPU. You can talk about the primary memory. Whereas secondary storage, these are backup gadgets or auxiliary, like the hard disk. You can talk about external hard disk, such. Whereas we have fixed, you can classify secondary storage as fixed and removable. So fixed are mounted permanently on the, or that is not really permanently. These are devices mounted in the system unit, like the hard disk. The hard disk is a good example of a fixed storage. Removable, a good example is a flash disk, or a CD or a DVD. You can insert and remove. So state three advantages of using hard disk as a medium of storage. Number one, hard disk has a very large memory storage capacity. They provide permanent storage of data. They are cheap per unit of storage. They are writable. They are very fast to read compared to any other gadget. When you are reading a hard disk, it's faster than when you are reading a flash disk of the same capacity. Then we have define a port. Define a port. If you go at the back of your computer, there are very many ports or slots where you can insert various gadgets. So a port is a kind of a socket found at the back of the computer used to connect an external peripheral device such as a printer, a monitor, mouse, blah, 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 blah. Then we have these cables, like when you disconnect your charger and dismantle it, we have the charger itself and the cable. You can use that cable to transmit data from your phone to the laptop or to the computer. So a data interface cable is a special cable that connects all the peripheral device to the motherboard and the CPU. They transmit data signal and information to and from the device. I have given a very good example of such. State the type of port that would commonly be used to connect the following devices. We have mouse. Mouse, you can use USB or PS/2 serial or parallel cables. You can connect monitor using a VGA, or you can also use the HDMI. Then you also have the external speaker. You use the jack port or audio ports. We call them audio ports. Then we have explain two differences between serial and parallel communication ports of a computer. When you talk about parallel ports, they are ports that transmit several bits simultaneously, so they are faster. Whereas serial, they transmit one bit at a time, but for a longer distance. Then we also have the parallel cables and serial cables. Parallel cables transmit 8 bits at a time, whereas serial cables transmit 1 bit at a time. They are slower, but they transmit for a longer distance. Question number 5. Give 3 major advantages of a USB interface cable over other cables. Number 1, you agree with me that a USB cable can connect so many gadgets. So they can be used to connect a wide range of peripheral devices. You can use the same port to connect a camera, mouse, keyboard, flash disk, etc. Its serial nature enables it to connect devices at a longer distance. I had explained that. It provides faster transmission of high quality data. Yeah, very true. It is light. It is light. It is easier to carry. You can agree with me that you can carry USB cable rather than carrying the charger. Then identify 3 ways of classifying software. You can classify software according to purpose, that is either application software or system software. You can classify according to acquisition, that is either a vendor of this the shelf or standard software. And also you can talk about tailor-made or that is customized. Then you can also have according to end user license, that is proprietary and non-proprietary, shareware, freeware, etc. This depends whether you purchase or you are given software for free or for trials. Then we have question number 26. A school intends to purchase new software. List 3 factors to be considered in purchasing the software. These ones are software considerations that we ran in Form 1. So you can talk about authenticity. This means whether software is genuine or pirated. Portability. This means whether software can be transferred or copied from one computer to the other. Documentation, as Arya said, this refers to the manuals. This is an explanation on how to use a certain software. Then we have compatibility. Compatibility means whether a software can be used, can be accommodated by all devices or just a few devices. Then we have user needs. That depends on what you want. User friendliness. This stands or means easier, or that is the ease of use. How easy is it to use? That is user friendliness. Reliability and security, you can talk about whether it will really safeguard your devices. Something like biometrics, provided something like passwords, PIN numbers, etc. Then you have question number 27. Define solid state storage and give 2 examples. A solid state storage is an non-volatile storage that employ integrated circuits rather than mechanical, magnetic, or optical technology. They are referred to solid state because they do not have movable parts in its read-write storage that is mechanism. Here we can talk about something like the flash disk. So the flash disk is a good example of solid state storage. You can also do your research as your homework and write down several types of solid state storage. Then we have give 5 examples of application software and their respective uses. We classify them according to, you can talk about word processors. They are used for typing, e.g. we have Microsoft Word and others there. You can also talk about database for keeping records, e.g. Microsoft Access, MySQL or MySQL, and the others there. We also have spreadsheets. They are used for calculation. A good example is Microsoft Excel. Then we have desktop publishing. These are used for publications, e.g. for creating books, for creating newsletters, wedding cards, brochures, advertisements. That one, you can give an example of a popular one like Microsoft Publisher. We also have Adobe PageMaker and others. Then we have computer-aided design for technical drawing. These are used by engineers, e.g. for drawing structures like building, story buildings, bridges, etc. Lastly, we have graphic software that is for designing and manipulating graphics. E.g. you can talk of CorelDRAW, Photoshop, Paint, 3D paints, etc. So, guys, this is the paper that I wished we look together. This is Form 1 end of term exam. Remember to subscribe, remember to share these files. You can also comment. You can also visit my website. The URL of my website is just below this video so that you can download these papers and their marking scheme. Thank you very much.